This is part 2 of the foot exercise video that I did on Instagram. The first one I talked about rolling out your foot on a ball and why that is important for a lot of range of motion, specifically supination and pronation. Today I will be talking about the second and third movements that I did in that video, primarily heel raises and working on your supination and pronation. So heel raises are fantastic because it basically uses both feet for stability. You can also do one, but in this video I did both feet. And what your goal is to try to go straight up and down while maintaining balance through two parts of the tripod of the feet. So when we stand normally, we want 3 points of contact that are making the most connection with our foot down to the floor. It's called the tripod of the foot. You've got the center of the heel, you've got right here, big toe mound, and then pinky toe mound. So this one, 2, and 3, these 3 points of the foot, we call them the tripod. And in yoga, we talk about them a lot, but just in general, anytime you're standing on your foot, you want to think about those 3 points maintaining contact. Sometimes people will tell you 4 points, outer, outer, outer here. But if you think about a table, 4 legs, if you put a table on an unstable surface, what happens? Teeter, totter, very annoying. So think of 3 points. 3 points, a tripod, you can move and bend and shape around uneven surfaces. The foot is designed to do that. So heel raises, both feet on the floor, that's what I did in this first video. Again, it is sped up about 6 times, I believe. And so what you want to think of as you're going up is count to 3. Think 1, 2, 3, up and down, 1, 2, 3. And you're really trying to move slowly with control, and you're wanting to feel your foot rise to its highest point, stay up there for a moment, and then you want to try to lower down with as much control and stability as you possibly can. A lot of us can shoot up quick, easy. It's a lot harder to actually go down with control. One thing that people tend to do is roll their ankles out to the side, and looks like this. As you go up, people tend to kind of do that type of thing, or collapse in. Then as they go out, they tend to kind of go down. 2 little tricks that I found. One of them I got on Instagram. Grab a quarter or a penny or a dime, any sort of money thing, but small. Place it on the ground. That tripod point of the big toe, place it on there. And then feet will be hip width distance apart. And 2 ways to measure hip width distance: fists between here or those sitting bones, ischial tuberosities that you feel, heels hip width that distance apart. So put that tripod point on there, continue think, press into that as you lift up. And that will help your ankles take a little bit more of a smooth path towards the midline. Hold at the top and then lower down as slow and controlled as you can. 2 quarters ideally, 1 under each foot unless you're doing singles. Second thing, we use this a lot, I do in my yoga classes when I want people to draw in and hug up towards the midline of their core. Yoga block, right above medial malleolus here, ankle bone, feet parallel, pointing straight forward. Find the stability, tripod of the feet, center of the heel, these 2 points going down, hug the block in, squeeze, and then start to lift up for count of 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top, hug and draw up. Lower down slowly, 3, 2, and 1. And so you'll feel your entire leg muscles work like crazy. You'll feel the feet fire on. This is a great exercise to do after you've rolled your foot out, because it's going to, the rolling of the ball is going to spread out some of those tendons, muscles, and ligaments, and it's going to give them a little bit of heat so that the tissues can start to spread. Once the tissues are kind of released from any stiffness that they have, this going up and down is going to engage the muscles. It's going to build more heat into the body. It's going to create stability up the chain. The next exercise that we want to work on is the one that I have a band around my feet, and there is this great company, Fit Simplify. I always thought it was Simply Fit, but it is fitsimplify.com. You get these colored bands. They're all of different resistance, and the awesome thing is that they have it listed right here. So black band, extra heavy, 5. Yellow band, where is it? 3 medium. So this entire bag was about $10.99 off of Amazon, and I use them pretty much in every workout. I use them with clients to help strengthen the hips, to strengthen the ankles. You can also put one of these around the ankles as you do the up and down lowering calf raises. Otherwise, what I used it for was to really engage my foot in supination and pronation. I ended up using this one so I could get a bit more feedback. If you don't have these, you could use a belt or tie a scarf around there. You basically want something that is going to give you a bit of resistance and kind of help move you into and out of the range of motion that you're looking for. So one through the outer edge, other one hook it around the ankle. Just like this, and then you'll switch foot and ankle. And so again, by using this, it really helps your feet supinate and pronate. So pronate, watch this foot. Pronation is where the band is going to help me flatten my foot down. It's going to curve in, the foot is going to spread, and then I push out against the band, my inner arch lifts, and that's supination. Ideally, the toes are relatively relaxed, but they're gonna get in some of the work, or they're gonna help you with some of the work. And that's a whole nother thing. So let your toes do what they need to do. Flatten, pronation, lift, supination. This ankle can do it as well. Flatten, let the band help you. Pronate, flatten down, spread out, press against the band, lift, supinate. Pronate, supinate. These are both helping you do the same thing, and if one helps you better than the other, then maybe you do both like this. If that gives you better feedback, great, or maybe you do both like this, and that really helps you. You can just kind of move around and feel what is best for you and your body and where you feel as though you get the most sensory feedback from the band. Supination and pronation are very much thought of like lordosis and kyphosis of the spine. A lot of times people will come to me and say, I've got lordosis in my low back, can you help me? Or I've got kyphosis in my upper back, what can I do to fix that? And those are absolutely normal parts of the spine. The lower back and the neck should have a lordotic curve. It's where they curve inwards. If you're looking at the front of the body, the lower back should go in. The upper back should curve out. That's kyphosis. Neck should curve in. Sacrum should curve out. So your spine has this great way of doing this to help basically be a fantastic shock absorber, so it can compress, can expand, and therefore energy gets dissipated throughout the whole body. Your foot. People say, I've got pronated feet, I've got supinated feet. We hope so. Your foot needs to be able to do both. The problem is when it's stuck in one or the other. If you have flat feet or a hyperpronated state of constant of your foot, that can be helped. It can be helped. You can strengthen the arches. A lot of it has to do with hip work. There's a direct relationship between your hip and the arches of your feet. I'll get into that in some of the next posts, but your foot needs to be able to do all the range of motion that it can. So just try to get out of your mind. Supination is not bad. Pronation is not bad. It's necessary for your foot to work properly and to function at its optimal level. Roll it out. Grab a band, grab something, a belt, put it around you. Use push out against that. Help to pronate, help to supinate. let your foot move through as much range of motion as it can. Heel raises. Press down into the floor, those two tripods of the foot, lift your heels up, use controlled, slow movement as best as you can. If you'll notice in my video, rotated around in a circle because that just changed my stimulation that my eyes were seeing, and it caused me to have a little bit of an extra challenge. So you can stay in one place, you can hold on to something, whatever you need to do, but just see if you can play around with some of your mobility and your stability on your feet. So let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for the next post, which moves on to balancing and has to do more with how the foot and the hips